What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is Yoshii. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Kimo. His name is Ra. No, that was the wrong way around. Playing as Ra, his name is Kimo. The map, to me, is looking very, very similar to Blue Lagoon because I believe it is indeed Blue Lagoon. First game, they're going to Yoshii with some incredibly strong Odin gameplay. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen in this second game, but I think that Kimo really needs to be rethinking this matchup. There's been a standard for this matchup for quite some time, and the Norse players are starting to say, we're sick of it. We don't want to play the way you want us to play. And they're starting to do some very, very different things. And let's be honest here. Norse should not be able to go for a fast second town center. I call a naked fast second town center against Egyptian from Norse an economic cheese. And that's what we saw in the last game. And that's why it works so well for Yoshii. And it's a meta game. It's an economic cheese. So what do I mean by economic cheese? Basically what it means is if your opponent sees it, they can counter it. You will basically lose. If they see you doing it, you will lose. It's the same thing as an aggressive cheese, like a Kronos Rush. We would consider a cheese where if you don't get enough damage done, you do end up losing the game. Same thing with the economic cheese. If you don't get your town center up, you essentially lose the game. And the thing is here, though, that Ra players have been being greedy themselves for an eternity. They've been going fast second town center against Norse every single time and getting away with it. And if you know your opponent's going to be going for a fast second town center, you can metagame that and say, I can just grab a town center myself. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the slightest. Now, let me talk a little bit about the ways in which I think that Ra could hard counter the fast second town center of a Norse player. Way number one, very, very simple, would be advance very, very fast, send your Wadjet forward to find the town centers, or go through Bast even. No, not Bast. Send your Wadjet forward to find the town centers, or send your Priest forward as well. You don't really need that extra empowerment because you kind of know your opponent is doing some cheeky shenanigans. Find the town center, shifting sands either onto the town center with the Pharaoh and a couple more priests, or shifting sands the infantry units that are building that town center back to your town center, delaying the town center, and you can throw up some barracks as well to then start preventing the town center from going up. Many different options here where that's concerned. So we do see a cheeky little heal up there from Kimo on this location. So we'll see if Yoshii goes for exactly the same play. He does have that temple down on the front. So to me, this is looking like an exactly the same build here. We actually see Heimdall, though, for Yoshii. A very, very different approach. I like the Heimdall with in this matchup for two separate reasons. So one is the threat of the Heimdall rush means the Ra player kind of needs to respect it, and they kind of sit a little bit scared seeing Heimdall because they know that their free towers aren't enough to defend them. But two is the upgrade Safeguard is incredibly strong in the late game. It is such a big upgrade because what it does is so part of the reason why Norse only gets watchtowers is because Norse is the best civilization at setting up towers. They can build the towers with all of their infantry units on the front. They don't have to waste resources by sending villagers forward to put the towers up. So that's why Norse is a little bit weaker in that line of technologies as opposed to, say, Egyptian or Greek. Obviously, you can make an argument that it's easier to put towers up with villagers, but neither here nor there. The reason is because the Norse units are faster, they are speedier, more speed, they can do that kind of stuff. As we are indeed seeing that town center coming up here for Yoshii. But with Safeguard, that upgrade allows Norse to have a very, very equally strong tower in the late game to even the Egyptian player with Ballaster towers. And it only costs 200 wood, 10 favor. It's nothing. As we see here, Kimo going for the fast second town center. I would not call that a fast second town center at all. It's a delayed town center. 5-minute advance time will allow Kimo to go straight in for the Shadoof and everything else here. Generally speaking, he doesn't actually have that many villagers on this one. This is a very, very awkward opening here for Kimo, as the town center just comes up freely here for Yoshii, as Kimo does not, Kimo here has not adapted in the slightest. I think potentially in that last game, Kimo just feels like maybe he didn't get enough value out of his god powers, and if he can get some better value there, I mean, look at this. He's so close to seeing this town center, to shifting sands these units away. Look at this. Shifting sands. I mean, it's too late, and he hits the Iron here and not the villager, and the town center does end up coming up. The tower gets undermined, and the Hersa are going to be immediately starting to get some damage done. Kimo here making a huge mistake with his early game. 2 villagers down already. Pharaoh coming back to help out. 3 villagers going down. The lumber camp also goes down there as the Pharaoh comes in to help out. Town center going to be helping out here as well as 1 Hersa goes down. The Pharaoh is about to fall as well. The damage from Yoshii is gigantic there, as Yoshii here not only gets his town center up, not only gets a ton of villagers killed, but also takes down the lumber camp as well to boot. My God, Kimo here has found himself in a terrible position after all is said and done here. And Yoshii, he's about to do exactly the same attack that he did in the last game, except Kimo is in a lot of pain here. This heroic age is going to be coming through at around about 8 minutes. Kimo is going to be hitting. I'd be surprised to see Kimo hitting the heroic age before Yoshii's timing attack hits. I would be surprised. The armory is late here. The gold income is low. The farms here coming up. He's got 12 farms. It looks like maybe Kimo's making a little bit less of a aggressive play here, or greedy play on the farms. He's only going for 12, maybe 13 farms, it seems, realizing he might need to be getting himself a little bit more gold. Another farm coming down over there. The units starting, or the Raven moving forward here. We do see the villagers up on this gold mine already. Walls going down there as well, as Yoshii does need to get himself some more units out here to potentially build his hill forts a little bit faster. One thing that he can do, which I do think is a great idea, is build, if you don't want to build the longhouse with this strategy, you can actually build Ulfsark out of that second town center in order to get your military buildings up a bit faster, skipping the longhouse. You don't necessarily need it as an idea. If you get a couple of maybe build 2 Ulfsark out here, get that extra Hersa, you get the hill forts up a little bit faster, living the dream. As we do see, that heroic age is in for Yoshii. He is in a fantastic position here, as the hill fort now starting to come down for Yoshii on this position. And Kimo here. Oh yeah, it's actually not that bad of a heroic age after all is said and done. I mean, obviously, given a 5-minute advance time from Kimo, you're expecting an 8-minute 30 heroic age here, 9 times out of 10 with that delayed classical age. So being basically a minute behind, basically a minute behind here, it's pretty late. It's pretty late. 30 seconds behind, I guess it's not that late. Anyways, 41 villagers here for Kimo, 35 for Yoshii. Why is that the case? I mean, obviously Yoshii should catch up a little bit while that heroic age is coming through, so it's not that big of a deal, as 1 hill fort is up, and Yoshii's just taking a third town center, excuse me. This is a very different idea here from Yoshii. Instead of going for the timing attack, he's just making himself some Huskar, getting himself the town center, not going to be going for those Jarls here in this game. Grabs himself 3 town centers, And he's going to be in a very, very strong position. He does see the Eye of Onlu here. This is a very big relic to keep away from Kimo, first and foremost, but also helps out his Throw and Axeman to deal with Spearmen and deal with Axemen, which can be a very, very big help as well. As we do see the Walking Woods God Power getting utilized here, and it looks like he's going to be using that to just take down the wooden wall to open up the base as that town center just about to hit. More Huskar coming through here, but a bit of a slow burn, so to speak, as the unit's going to be pulling back up here for Yoshii. As it looks like Yoshii going to be able to keep most of his Walking Woods alive. They are a very, very strong unit. You don't need to use them straight away. This is one of the big advantages of Odin's and Loki's, for that matter, Walking Woods God Power is effectively its ancestors, but the units, they don't die. I mean, you don't get as many ancestors or many units, but they're very, very strong. As you do see the Ursa coming over here, going to start looking to take out those Patsukos hit. Good micro there from Kimo, good awareness as the army starting to come through onto this position to break down that wooden wall yet again. Look at the Mountain Giant, bam! 3/4 HPs with one attack. The villager going to die as well. Oh, no. Yes, the villager does indeed die. As the Walking Woods, I think they do have a range attack. I feel like they've got a range attack or something as the Pharaoh comes through. Yoshii obviously cannot take this fight just yet. Too much of a choke point. Pharaoh getting some good damage done as the Walking Woods are getting cleaned up ever so slightly here. Yoshii does need to start getting himself something else here in this game. What is the plan from Yoshii, though? I'm not seeing it here. He's not really training units at this moment. Is he looking for another... He's going to move forward, grab the food over here. The rock flying over a town center, not found any villagers just yet. The dwarves over on this location, very, very naked here. The rock might be able to find those. Dwarves on this position here, there's a ton. 16, 17, 18 dwarves here. As the rock, I mean, this is a very difficult gold mine to scout out. We do see the locust getting utilized on this position. And 1, 2, 3, 4 villagers going down here. Kimo still with a villager advantage at this point. We do see up on the top location over here, the Golden Lion coming through to put some pressure over there. There's no siege out at this moment here for Kimo, so he's not actually going to be able to push through onto this location, but raids can start coming down onto this spot over here as well. As Yoshii drops the hill fort, drops the longhouse, we do see villagers starting to get taken out over here as the Herso come over here to try and defend this one. It can be very, very tough to take this down. Kimo is going to be putting a lot of effort into these rock raids. This is something that he didn't do too well in the last game, and he's managing to get a good amount of pressure at this point. And we're starting to see the raids come through over here. The Migdol Stronghold is just about up. That's going to be a nice way to stop a small amount of units hitting this location and giving Kimo a very, very safe gold mine. He's also got this gold mine over here that's very, very safe as well, as units still pushing through onto this spot here. Yoshii's got 110 population. He's now got himself 5 military buildings to start pumping out. 56 villages in the bank, as the rock's going to continue moving around here as well. You have to kind of chase the rock very, very... you have to be very, very good about it. It can be very tough to stop the rock raids. One way to play around it is to just throw a tower down on this position here. And that can be an easy way to stop a rock raid with just the small amount of units in it with the Wadget and the Patsukos. As you do see, this rock now has found another port of attack as the town center over here going up. We do see the Mountain Giant coming through here as the cavalry trying to deal with those Jarls. But with the help of those Huskar, they just deal so much damage over here. We do see the Pharaoh getting a fantastic amount of damage onto that Mountain Giant, but will it be enough here, especially if Yoshii decides to target that one down, as more units going to be coming up onto this position there as well. Jarl's coming through. We need to see some more raiding cavalry or some Ulfsark or something coming out of those longhouses, just fill that population up. At this point, Yoshii needs to start farming here. Now, farms through Njord, we've already talked about it once, not really the best farms, not as good as the Skadi here, but we'll see how it's all going to go as the hill fort, Migdol Stronghold does get taken down. The Jarl's still getting some good damage done over here, but it does look like Yoshii will be able to hold for the time being here, as the village is finishing up on those pigs. And one thing that I absolutely love from Yoshii is that he doesn't farm early. He doesn't farm early at all. And for those of you who want to learn how to not farm early, and the best way to do it, just before that final pig finishes, throw up one farm. And then once the fig finishes, you can shift click all your farms and then you right click on the completed farm. And that allows all your villagers to immediately move to the right farm. Or basically individually go to one farm each. It's the best way to do it. And well, it's not necessarily the best way. The best way is to manually create all your farms in one, like click idle villager farm, idle villager farm. That's going to be the actual fastest way, but it's the second fastest way. It takes the least amount of APM to make that happen. As we are starting to see some thrown action coming through, and Yoshii at this point, he is going for a Ragnarok. Most likely here, this has got to be a Ragnarok idea from Yoshii. He's not. I would not call Yoshii. While Yoshii's got 4 town centers here, I don't think that Yoshii at this point is in as good of a position as he was in the last game. He has not done as much damage. Kimo here, he did a lot of damage in the early game, but he's not done as much damage as in the last game. And he does not have as much technology upgrades here either. I do think that clicking an early Ragnarok here for Yoshii might be a bit of a mistake here, but he might not have any other option as Kimo, he is getting very, very far ahead. As now the thrown axemen coming in, they will be able to take out those medium axemen of Kimo here easily, as the cavalry moving away onto this location, trying to run away from this location here to find some sort of safety. But every single moment here that Yoshii gets some breathing room does mean he's going to be able to get further and further ahead. And one thing that Yoshii does amazingly is he can figure out weaknesses in his opponent's position and push through them to take that out. As we do see the Pharaoh gets taken out on that position. Nice raid there from Yoshii. A very, very high value unit. Very similarly to the Norse weakness of ox caravans being targeted down, getting taken down. The Egyptians also have that weakness in the Pharaoh. If you take the Pharaoh down, that's a huge loss of income to the gold mines. So there are weaknesses for everyone that you can kind of exploit. It can be really annoying losing that Pharaoh there. Nice find by Yoshii, as Yoshii does push back onto this. Look at that beautiful, beautiful raid by Yoshii. He locks in the majority of those villages, but he doesn't quite get that lock off there completely, as a couple of villages do escape. But beautiful raid there from Yoshii, taking out Kimo's economy there. As the Balder has hit, now we do have the Fire Giant in. Osiris has come through. And locking this gold mine off is a big deal, because that means this gold mine over here is the only one remaining, which will allow Yoshii somewhat of a Ragnarok here, or successful Ragnarok. But we did see last game that Yoshii is very happy to not go for the immediate Ragnarok. He's happy to set up. He's happy to play more of a late game. And not only that, we also have to remember that Yoshii has got a significant advantage here with the town centers here. He needs to get himself fortified town centers and defend himself. We do see some portable rams set up. This might be a little bit early here. We haven't seen the trade route started here just yet for Yoshii, as this Fire Giant is going to be doing a ton of damage here in this fight. The special attack just does so much damage there, as we are seeing the main base now starting to get targeted down. The Fire Giant over here could move over and take out these units as well very, very easily, as the temple going to get targeted down here. This is a big takeout here for Yoshii. As Kimo, does he have a temple up anywhere else? We do see a siege works up there, but no extra temple coming down, as that means no mummy for Kimo. He's tried to click it up, but it's not going up at this point, as it looks like the Fire Giant was taken out. But the damage is just so huge. Bronze Mail coming through for Kimo, as he is setting up on this position to try and defend against everything. The gold villagers over here still happily mining, as Axeman coming through. Son of Osiris coming in as well, as Yoshii needs to retreat back. We do see the market up in the corner here for Yoshii, as he's going to be starting the trade route fairly soon. I'm sure 79 villagers currently, as we're starting to see some Ballista coming in. Ballista are the best defense against a Son of Osiris. If you have 5 Ballista out, you can kill off a Son of Osiris in around about 30 seconds of, maybe even less than 30 seconds. Probably much less than 30 seconds, actually. As the Ballista do shoot a little bit of an attack there. And does it hit anything? Kind of missing everything there as well. But basically the Son of Osiris can't get close to your army because if you've got 30 range compared to the 18 range, so you can't even get into that position where you're shooting the melee units because the ballista can still fire on your Son of Osiris. There is the Huskarl coming back. They will be spotting those. Cavalry searching for some raids over here. Nice plays. The market going to be coming up. Still, have we seen that market starting a trade route? Not just yet. Again, Yoshii's on 4 town centers. He's got no need to click Ragnarok here. And Kimo basically at this point, he can start a trade route going from the top location down to the bottom. But once Ragnarok hits, he's going to need that market at the bottom corner. So I'd love to see him starting that one preemptively here as those ballista are starting. Look at the damage coming through. It's slow, but it does. I mean, you can't fight here without taking damage. That's the beautiful nature of the ballista. And they just look at. The Son of Osiris is just getting absolutely murdered here in this fight. 300 HP remaining. The catapult is in. The ballista can take the catapult down relatively... I mean, it's not really that fast, but relatively fast. If the ballista actually... all the projectiles actually hit the catapult, it would go down incredibly quickly. But... The Son of Osiris now already down to 243 HP as Yoshii's Fire Giant raids as the villagers retreating away from here as the gold income will be stopping here for Kimo as Kimo trying to make this one work. But Ballista Fire Giant are already out here. Yoshii's getting himself flood control. He hasn't had to click Ragnarok. He's got 95 villagers in the bank, 180 population at this moment as well with the fortified town centers. He's still trying to finish off this Son of Osiris, but the Kimo Son of Osiris has just got no HP remaining, 100 HP, and he will be able to pick off maybe a fire giant here, but I mean it's an absolutely useless unit against the ballista that Yoshii has made as Kimo retreats away. 34 HP. The fire giant coming back onto this position, going to be taken out. I'm not sure what they're doing, to be honest, but Catapult still pushing through here. Ballast are going to be taking out some villagers on this position, as well as we see another hill fort going up, as obviously the one weakness to Ballista is that they can only be trained out of the hill fort. And that's a good thing in all honesty because they are so strong on mass. But you do have to put the effort into getting those hill forts up to mass them, as Yoshii pulling back here to try and make that work. As he started that trade route, he has now finally started the trade route as the army massing up on this position. The Son of Osiris is going to be moving back in, but there's so many fire giants here as Yoshii losing some houses here is a big deal, but look at the damage coming through onto this position. As the Son of Osiris comes back in, I'm sure the Ballista is immediately going to target that Son of Osiris down, or at least the Fire Giants can clean that one up. 22 HP remaining as the Son of Osiris turns around, gets one more shot in. The Fire Giant comes through. One more whack, two more whacks. 6 HP remaining. Still going to be living to hit another attack here as Kimo's strongest unit still alive, still dealing damage. But you also have to remember there's still a lot of heroes coming for Yoshii, as well as the Mummy comes through to clean up the Fire Giants. Beautiful play there from Kimo to stay alive in this game, as Kimo is taking much better care of this Son of Osiris now at 6 HP. Imagine if he was thinking about staying very far away from those Ballista earlier. As you see some more longhouses coming up with the buildings going down here. This is the weakest part of the Norse of the Norse game, is when he starts losing military buildings, because building them back up means he can't utilize those units in the fight. And maybe, just maybe here, Yoshii is going to have to click that Ragnarok button, maybe just getting himself up some raiding cavalry or some thrown axemen or some Ulfsark here. Wouldn't go astray. Maybe building Ulfsark out of the hometown center wouldn't go astray. 110 villages is 330 population worth. No, that's not quite. Yeah, 330 population worth of Ragnarok heroes. As the Ulfsark going to try and move over here and take out the catapult on that location there. Is the Son of Osiris still alive somewhere? Sometimes Kimo likes to just bring the Son of Osiris back when it's at 6 HP. I don't think I saw it die, but it must have fallen to something here as the catapult does go down. Iron Shield's coming through. Hill Fort's coming up on the back here as well, as Yoshii is trying to re-solidify his position, to stabilize. He just does not have the food income, to be honest, at the moment, to spam out all the food units that he needs. He could buy food at this position if he really wants to. It wouldn't be a bad idea. He's got a lot of gold income, as the units here for Yoshii need to stop sacrificing themselves one by one. If Yoshii just gets up to full population here, we do see that the markets are up. Full population, Ragnarok, click Ragnarok, I'm pretty sure Kimo's main base just falls. Look at the main base. He doesn't have towers. He's got a little bit of gold to put towers down, but he doesn't have a whole lot of stuff at all. Is this raiding cavalry going to be chasing the chariot archers away as the ox caravans will get taken out? There's more raiding cavalry starting to come through here. There's the raiding cavalry coming in onto this position to take out the chariot archers very, very nicely. We do see the raiding cavalry coming up here to check out that gold mine. They see the gold mine is gone. And potentially now that means it's time to hit the go button for Yoshii, as Yoshii's getting himself heavy cavalry as well to boot. Nice upgrade there to help to deal with those champion axemen. The one thing that I wouldn't have minded here is if Yoshii could get out a couple of fire giants before he clicks the Ragblon. He's got plenty of resources in the bank to set up towers and things. He's got the walls set up over here. I could imagine flooding this town center over here and putting towers up over on this town center to clean this up completely would be a really good idea, as the villagers finding a gold mine on this position here. Ragnarok here immediately would mean 11 rag heroes to take out these villagers, and everything would be very, very tough here for Kimo, as bronze weapons coming through as well for Yoshii. Yoshii's got 11 ox caravans at this moment, as the heavy raiders pushing through here to take out the villagers and the chariot archers over here as well. Nice play from Yoshii. As the catapult going after the fortified town center as well here, as the villagers just saying, I don't even need to rag. I'm just going to shank this down. And I mean, look at the pressure right now that Kimo has to put on to try and force the Ragnarok. He's on the villagers over here. He's on the villagers over here. And Yoshii just says, I'm not built like the rest of them. I don't need to click Ragnarok. It's not important. I can just make sure that I hold and continue to hold this overwhelming advantage of a position that he has in 4 town centers to 2 town centers, and just continue to control the corners. I'd love to see Ulfsark moving over here. Walls, this is one thing that Yoshii is missing here in this game, is putting the walls up in the corners of the map. We are seeing that the ox caravan's under threat here, as Yoshii needs to deal with that. As the Migdol stronghold in the corner getting cleaned up. And Kimo at this point, he's not making any effort. While he is putting good effort into like raids and stuff, he's not putting any effort into walling the map up. If you take a look at like Joe's game plan as Egyptian, he would probably have the majority of the top side of the map walled up here to prevent any sort of those raids, so he could secure the corner. We do see some longhouses preventing trade routes from happening here as well, as the axemen, chariot archers on this position a little bit too strong here. The mummy about to go down there as a fire giant comes through to clean this one up. The ox caravans, to 14 ox caravans here for Yoshii as well, as the ballast are starting to come back out yet again to deal with this. Ballaster to take out the catapult. Fairly decent way to go about it. As Kimo at this point, 125 or 140 population. He does not have the population in this game. He's only got 42 villages, 21 camel caravans. And it's an inefficient camel caravan trade route as well at only 17 gold. It's very, very difficult to make that work. As these ballasts here, they do manage to take out that catapult, as the spearmen are very good against the ballisters though. They get that bonus 100% bonus damage, so dealing like nearly 20 damage per second against those ballaster. Because the ballisters do have 20% pierce armor, hack armor I should say. As the Son of Osiris coming back, and it dies. Boom. So now the champion raiders coming through, trying to make it work as well. Catapult still going after the town center. Yoshii still holding on to his Ragnarok. I wouldn't mind seeing Yoshii going for a Titan here, in all honesty. Titan Ragnarok is another very easy way to just completely clean up the Ra base. There's not a whole lot they can do to stop the Rag Titan. Like I said, Rag heroes plus Titan means, well, one, the axemen die very quickly to the Titan, and the Rags heroes can kill the enemy Titan very, very easily as well. And now we see that safeguard coming through in the 26th minute here, as Yoshii can very easily start setting up towers as well. It's going to be difficult to deal with. We do see some raids up on this position here. I mean, Yoshii, he doesn't even need to use the Rag. He can just rag, like Ulfsark rag here himself as well, as that's exactly what he's doing. Get himself access to like champion infantry as well, fully upgraded units. We do see the heavy thrown axemen able to take out this position here as well. Hill forts coming up, longhouses coming down as the army crashes through into Kimo's army here beautifully. We do see the fire giant. He's doing so much damage over there as well. Again, I would love to see walls. The only thing missing here from Yoshii's game, which would make him unstoppable, is utilizing the incredibly strong aspect of Odin, which is Lone Wanderer, Ulfsark, Walls. They're speedy, 5 point something speed, 5.24 speed or something, 2.6 speed. They build the walls relatively quickly. They get them up all over the map in very, very difficult to reach positions. And it's just it's a very obnoxious thing to deal with in the late game for Egyptian players, for Greek players and everything else. And Kimo in this position says, I can't even get to population here. And Yoshii is just getting more and more technological upgrades. Look at this. He's full bronze with iron shields. We do see full iron here for Kimo, but he doesn't have any line upgrades. He doesn't even have any line upgrades. That's how far behind Kimo's economy here is in this game. He focused on the armory upgrades. You can see, look at the difference in economy there. It's gigantic, 80,000 to 60,000. Military kill loss is also relatively equal here for Yoshii as well. He's behind by a little bit, but being behind by 30 units is only like 3,000-ish resources, give or take, depending on what units you want to count it in. It's about 3,000 resources. So this is just... Kimo, I mean, obviously Kimo, he had a disastrous early game. I would have liked to have seen what would have happened here had Kimo... Well, one, Kimo went for this cheese, but he advanced too late. You can see what I was talking about in that early game. If you just advance at 4 minutes and 2 seconds, or 4 minutes and 30 seconds, like a sane Ra player, you can send that Wadjet onto the second town center, onto this town center very, very early, and you can see that it will be able to be shifting sands, and it's going to be really, really tough for the Odin player to finish that one off. You can also then throw up a barracks and start sending Axemen in there. This game plan here from Yoshii is a cheese, and he got away with it 2 games in a row, and that goes to say something about adaptability and all the good stuff where that comes from. If you guys enjoyed this game, enjoy seeing the Odin victories here, do consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.